This is a game changer. I truly mean that. In fact, the amount of videos that I've done on YouTube, and I can't believe I haven't mentioned it to you yet. So I apologise for that, but here it is. Something I learned when caddying on the European Tour, and vitally important on choosing your club selection and hitting more greens. And we all know, I've told you this before, more greens means lower scores. So what is actually the difference between, you might struggle to see this, but my lie in the rough and hitting a fairway? How does that ball react differently, and what things have we got to take into account when we do hit it in the rough, okay? Here's a step-by-step guide, let's get into it. So both of these shots, we've got 105 yards to the flag. Let's start with that one in the fairway. We all want to be on that short stuff all the time. It's a nice place to be. Now straight away, if you put that club down behind the ball, and you can see that in the close-up, I can get to the back of that ball without any grass getting between the face and the ball. So I've got as much control, or I've got as big a chance as possible of striking this ball, right? I'm not going to say as much control because we can still make bad swings, but just basing this on lie, we've got as much chance as possible of standing here and actually striking it with the spin that we should have. Just like that one. You can really put some speed into it and anticipate what's going to happen. Now, let's think about this. And I can assure you, you probably never think about this, but you want to think about this going forwards. Have a look at, again, this close-up of the lie. Few things we've got to anticipate when coming in the rough. There are sort of three options, okay? One, it could go out and fly fine. Two, it could get stuck in the ground, in the sense of our club could get stuck and turned over. And three, we could get a flyer. So looking at this close up here, you can clearly see the difference between when I address it on the fairway and when I address it in the rough here. I can't get to the back of the ball. It's really hard for me to get the back of the ball and sort of anticipate what's going on. Now, no matter if you're using a wedge, 7-iron, 8-iron, whatever that might be, you've got to take this into account. Now, going sort of more the wedge and more lofted irons, and sort of in the rough like this, anything any thicker than this, I would really suggest taking more club and anticipate it's not going to go as far. This right here is a prime example of where we're going to get a flyer. Now, I'm going to carefully pick it up and put it back. But what we've got to understand is a flyer is something where we get grass stuck between the club face and the ball, and it really reduces the amount of spin and causes this ball to shoot off. So go a lot further. So reduces the spin, especially backspin with like a wedge that I've got here. It's going to make this ball go a little bit further. You've also got to anticipate when it lands on the green, it's going to come out with less backspin, so therefore it's going to come out with less spin when it lands. It's going to roll on a lot more. You can start to see how this is going to really improve or change your club selection from what it was probably 2 or 3 minutes ago. So putting that ball back in that same spot, I've got to find it now, somewhere around here, just as bad as it was before. You've got to take this into your game. So we said it's 105 yards. Anticipating it's going to come out a little bit further. So we went with 50 before out the fairway. I'm going to go now 54 degree. I'm going to allow myself to take a little bit more loft, anticipate it's going to go a little bit further, and really give myself a chance of not only just hitting the green, but being a little bit more accurate. So this was sort of 20-30 yards further back, and I was thinking 9-iron, 8-iron. If I thought this was a flyer lie, I would be looking down the route of going 1 club less. Important point to note though, anything thicker than this, we will tend to see a reduction in distance because the club can't carry its speed through the ball. Let's hit this one away. I'm going to really anticipate that ball's going to fly a little bit further. So in terms of my alignment to target, I'm not going to go straight at this flag. It's over a bit of a knuckle. I'm going to play a little bit safer down the middle of the green. And hopefully I've judged this right. Oh yeah. Coming out like a moon ball. Bound, bound, bounding down. Now, you might be thinking, Alex, well, is there an exact science on this? How do I know? How can I test? Well, first stage, at least you're now aware of it, so you know what you're looking for. Wispy, rough, or even wet in the morning with that morning dew, are some prime times when you're going to get a flyer. And if that ball's got a little bit of grass behind the ball to begin with, then we know we're sort of looking in that realm. As I mentioned, anything thicker than that, so just turn this way, like this, or even just a little bit thicker than it was just there, you know it's going to come out a little bit more dead, with less spin, but also less ball speed, and therefore not go as far. We need to take more clubs. So important, so important in getting your club selection right and lowering your scores. And it really does affect how you strike your irons. Let's head now to some short game stuff, because does this theory apply with that? So I'm not going to focus too much on this because it's not short game Saturday, but I think it's really important to sort you out ahead of the weekend. This is where the two ended. One here, this is the one from the fairway. As I said, a lot more control. You know what you're going to get, or as close as we can get to know what we're going to get. The back one here bounded out a little bit more, but because we took that little bit more loft, we anticipated it quite well, we've got a good chance. Okay, so just look at these two scenarios. I'm going to spin around here for you guys. Two things to think about here. Good lie, not so good lie. So this one here, because there is an element of still a little bit of grass getting caught behind the ball, what I would really recommend is anticipating again that the ball's going to really want to come out with less spin and more roll. Now, out of thicker lies like this is where we all go wrong. You'll try and play this one with like a 9-9 and 7-9, because if you come around here quickly, you'll be able to see the fact that there's quite a lot of distance between me, the fringe and the flag. Okay, I can run it quite easily, and you might want to go 9-9. Now when it's sat down like that, one thing that's your friend is speed to get through the grass. You've got plenty of it back there because it's a longer swing, but here make sure you take a bit more loft than you usually would. Allow yourself to get some speed, anticipate it's going to get some more roll, and he's only gone and hold it. As if I could have planned it any better. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, everybody. Have a great weekend, and look forward to joining you tomorrow at the same time.